Add some flavor.
An error occurred on X. Okay, I think we're live on YouTube. X has been like on and off all day. But yeah, anyway.
May the gods
this is from the Petty Corner. I'm Petty Diana, and today I got the Chief, Ali Kanakawa. He is coming off a big win at Power Slap 12. Welcome back to the Petty Corner, Chief.
What's up?
What's up? We're just going to recap the card. We might have a few people joining us. Let me just double check that because it's showing an error. Nothing is going my way today, guys. So I'm just going to double check that we are actually live because it's giving me an error notification up in the top corner.
Is that from my side or your side?
On my side.
I mean, you still can. These stickers are dope. I love it. I just don't have any room on my computer anymore.
All right, we are live. Okay, so Power Slap 12 was the best card to date, in my opinion. When I talked to Erica, I even told her, like, you're doing an amazing job. The cards just keep getting better and better every single time. I don't think anybody can even argue that. The performance bonuses did go to Robert Trujillo, KO Chris, Riley Montoya, the Chief for that knockout on Wesley, and Brandon Bordeaux got the crypto bonus.
Right.
We did get 2 new champions. We had an and new for the middleweight division, which happens to be your division, and the first ever lightweight champion of the world made history, Rob Trujillo, which he was the uncrowned king, the uncrowned champ, and he had his Cinderella moment, and he finally got his belt. But your match was first, so I'm going to look at that. Look at you being a heel.
I know.
Right,
so that's a nasty look right there.
I know.
Locked in.
And that's the villain.
I know.
Okay, so walk me through your match. First of all, before we get into this, I just want to say, the commentators always say they don't like when people go on one. They don't like when people don't wear shoes. Michael Bisping specifically said this, but he did give you props because he said you have the power and it's been working out for you going on stage with no shoes on. And Dan Helly was like, you don't like the shoes, you don't like the one. And then that's when he gave you the props.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I make non-believers into believers. So.
Yeah. So walk me through your match, I guess. Because you were going up against Wesley. He was the number 3 ranked. Is that correct?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
3 or 4.
Yeah, one of those. Doesn't matter.
So you got to strike first, and I actually believe that we'll get into it on the next one, but it kind of looked like you missed the mark a little bit there on that very first one. Then you ate his slap, and then you came out with this incredible KO.
Mm-hmm. Everyone thought... Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
We'll
get into that after.
Okay, cool. So everyone thought that I wasn't going to be able to take his slap. And to be honest, I didn't miss, like, accidentally. I missed on purpose. Like, I was delivering 35%, at least 45% with that shot. But I also wanted to feel what the top 5 had to offer, so Wesley Drain supposedly had a hard or one of the hardest hits or hitters in the division. So, I just wanted to show the world and test myself or test the chin and show everyone else what the Chief is about.
Did you have any concerns going into his match because of his experience and his power that he has, and that no one had ever even dropped him before Isaiah knocked him out?
No. I'm confident. I'm very confident as AF, but at the end of the day, I know that he's one of the OGs and, he's a really good striker and he has the same background as me in MMA. So it was a good matchup. Erica is doing a good job right now.
Yeah, she is. Okay, so this is what's up, Lakuka. This is the official scorecards from the judges. They actually had you losing the first round. And I think it's because you missed the mark there. It's because your slap didn't look as effective, but it didn't need to come down to the scorecards anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's all I know is that it wasn't going to go past second round, either for him or me. But I know it wasn't going to be me.
Yes. Can
It
you
doesn't
still
really
see
matter
me?
about the scorecard. Can I still see you?
Yes.
Yeah, I can still see you. It kind of
Okay.
glitches like here or there, but
Okay. I need to upgrade all my stuff. Sorry, but I was just trying to get the code out to somebody. Nothing is going my way today, but you know what? We're here.
it's gonna
Okay, and
happen.
then
It's gonna
we have,
work.
yeah. What was your experience like? Was that your first time competing? No, that wasn't your first time competing in Vegas. Then was that your first time competing at the
Oh wait,
Fontainebleau though?
yeah. Yes and yes.
Yes.
First time I found blue, but I already competed in Vegas, and I was remembering. I was like, wait, did I? But I did.
Yeah. And then you said you don't wear shoes because you like to stay grounded. Do you feel like that's going to be like a part of your game going forward?
I like it. I mean, yeah, like I said, it's something new, but I'm going to be doing that more often, especially when I throw up that spear at the ending and when I do my little celebration.
And then I just want to talk to you about what you think is next for you because you've like climbed up through the ranks. Do you feel that you deserve a title shot next, or do you kind of want to like settle the score with Darren Godfrey?
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter who it is. You know, if it's John Davis or Isaiah or Brandon. I'm grateful, but I feel like I'm next for the title shot. Given the fact that I'm climbing the ranks really quick, like you said, and everyone's seeing my knockout power. So yeah, eventually that will happen. But the rematch with Darren, I know it's what the fans want, right? I don't really like going backwards. I just love going forward. But if it's in the stars, then maybe it would happen.
And there was another middleweight match on the card, which happened to be the main event. Isaiah Quinones and Brandon Bordeaux. They had a match back in December. It didn't go Brandon's way, and now Brandon had taken the title from Isaiah this time. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on what this match, just your thoughts on this match, and do you think that they deserve a trilogy before you get a title shot?
Damn, that was a lot of people there, huh?
Yes, it was completely sold out.
It was packed. I love it. My thoughts on Brandon, we talk behind the scenes. I talk to everyone. They're super cool. It would be a really good match between the Butcher and I. My thoughts on him winning, it was much deserved, but I feel like they're probably going to have a trilogy, which makes sense. But yeah, maybe he'll pull it off again. But like I said, it doesn't matter who it is. The Chief is coming for that strap. That's my belt. It's just a temporary hold for everyone else.
I love it. And then we have, let's see. We have West Mina and Aaron Turner. West Mina, props to him. He took this on short notice. Aaron stayed on the card and also took this on short notice. This picture is kind of epic because I feel like they keep giving West like guys that are so much bigger than him. It's like the David versus Goliath.
Yeah, but it's fucking. This is a really, really awesome photo. I love it. Shout out to Boom. Shout out to Aaron Turner too. Yeah, Wes is doing a great job, and he just puts on a show too. That's what the fans want. The fans want someone that's entertaining, and Wes brings the boom. I mean, they both did. They're both warriors at the end of the day. But Wes he has a name for himself, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do to get the job done.
Yes. And what did you think about the decision? Do you feel like it went to the right person? Because I feel like it did go to a split. I have the scorecards right here. Majority decision.
That's what I wanted to see. I didn't see this part. So I know that it did go to decision.
Betty got you.
Yeah. You got the hookup. Nice. Yeah, for sure.
So it
I
looks
feel like
like
West was landing effectively, and that's the reason why his scoring and it went in his favor, So, but yeah, my thoughts on that match. That was a banger. It was fun. It's
yeah.
good
So I'm
to
just
always
looking.
see. It's good to always see the heavy or the super heavyweights go at it too, because it's just like clash of giants, clash of freaking huge Goliaths.
Yeah, and it looks like the judge all the way on the right, Chris Lee, gave the decision to Aaron, which is very interesting because he had a point deduction. Even with the point deduction, they still gave him the round. That's what it looks like to me. So maybe he just had his math wrong or something, because then I guess it should have been a 9-9, not a 10-9, where it says point deducted.
Right, especially with the fouls.
And
But
Wes on one of the flinches actually ended up hurting his hand, so he had to strike with his left. But he did a great job of just keeping it clean on that last shot to secure the win, in my opinion.
Yep.
What
And
do
he
you?
did.
Okay, so what do you think is next for Wes? Because they were both 6 and 7. If Ryan Phillips stays retired, this is for Wes Mina and Aaron Turner's fight. What's going on, Hunter? Sorry. Okay, so what do you think is next for Wes? I personally want to see him against Nate Bernard. I've been calling for him and Nate to go against each other since Wes got into Power Slap, just because they're such similar backgrounds. And then Aaron came on the scene. They're all three of them college football players. All three of them do private security or some kind of, bodyguard job.
Within that realm. Right.
So now we need to throw Nate Bernard in the mix and go from there.
That would be a really good match, to be honest. That would be a really good match. I would see Wes, and who he's going up against next would be either my brother, but I know that my brother just, lost with Dorian, lost with that match. So it's either, it would be for sure 100% against Nate Bernard. I see that happening 100%.
And I don't know if the nerves of because Aaron doesn't seem like a person that gets nervous, but it's like his first match was on a pre-recording, so it wasn't like a full arena. And then I know he's played college football and he's like used to big crowds and everything, but he's just solo there. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that like played a factor into it. And just Wes is just building that experience. So I do believe that Aaron will come back like better and stronger. Maybe him and James can get the next match, because I know James had gotten sick and that match fell out. So maybe we could see that in the future.
Possibly.
And, Dorian's up there. But I do feel like Dorian does deserve the DeBell fight again after his match with Pono. We'll get into that, though, because there are a few matches later. The Nate Bernard and Mina would be good. Yes, 100%.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Perez against DeBell. That would be a good one.
Yes, I was actually surprised they didn't run it back, but I mean, props to Dorian. He's like, you know what? If you don't want to give me that right now, I'll take on whoever you give me. Pono is a monster, and that's like not an easy match to take on. And that one actually came out a split decision, and we will show the scorecards on that one. I'm gonna skip this next match just because he's trying to come in here, so that way we can talk about it with. Oh, this is another David and Goliath picture. Like, you could just see the size difference in this from Wes to Aaron. I think he was like 6'1" to 6'7". That's a whole half foot.
Big photo. Aaron is a tall person. Yeah, when I met him, but I'm also tall too. But yeah, he's a giant.
He's actually the tallest striker in Power Slap. Fun fact.
Oh, wow. I mean, I would say for now, because we do have a lot of, I would say, NFL players that are huge too, but we'll see. The card is just going to be getting more and more stacked every single time. Yes,
Aaron is 6'7". Perez versus Mina, or if they don't, then do Perez versus Siegman. I mean, I feel like I watched the Slap News thing, and Dorian did say something about James Siegman. I don't know. the heavyweight division is always.
I think. I mean, Perez definitely deserves the rematch against.
Damien.
Was it DeBell? Yeah.
Yeah.
he definitely deserves a rematch after that win too. But with Seekman, I would say that'll be the battle of the craziest, or the crazies, because Seekman is kind of fucking one loose screw. But I love the guy. I mean, he's gaining traction.
Yes. All right, and then we have the Battle of the Chris's, both returning guys. Unfortunately,
That's like an epic photo.
Right, dude. Power Slap takes the best photos. Miles Jackson was 6'8". He's the guy Brian Ellis fought in season 2. Oh, good to know. I guess Aaron's the tallest, most active. I guess, right?
I think so.
For sure. Okay,
6'8". So, man, that's fucking tall.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
okay, and
good.
then so I was like really excited for this one, just like the fans who have been here since the beginning, because KO Chris has been a staple. And then after his loss to Manny and his loss to Blackburn, you know, we haven't seen him in about like almost a year, right? Chris Debo, we probably haven't seen in a year, and we did see him on the show. It's very refreshing to see the older faces come back. And then, you know, KO Chris does have that star power for Power Slap in the early stages. Like, he was one of the most well-known. Chris Debo was supposed to strike first, but he unfortunately missed weight by 5 pounds. Sorry, my camera keeps being all weird. He missed weight by 5 pounds, so he had to defer the coin toss, and the broadcast said he had to lose part of his purse, and then he had to get struck first, which Chris Debo has never, I don't believe he's been dropped before. I know for sure he was never knocked out. He's never knocked anybody out before. KO Chris knocked out all of his opponents until he met up with Manny and Blackburn. So that was really exciting to see both of them come back. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for Chris Debo. I don't know if like the weight cut was too hard on him and that played a factor into him getting knocked out.
Before, yeah, well, 100% that played a big factor. Anyone that's cutting weight that much right before a match, or especially if it's only taking a hit to the dome, then cutting weight was like the worst thing to do last minute, and it fucks with your psyche, it fucks with your mental game. But yeah, that photo is just fucking, I'm just staring at that photo. That's just so fucking epic. This is an epic photo. And shout out to KO Chris, you know, for making his return, especially known, because he of course he was a champion at one point, and he's coming for redemption, as I feel.
Yes, and Chris Debo actually did have issues cutting weight when he was on the road to the title. So this is almost like I don't know if it's like a recurring issue, but it kind of seems like that now. But let's see what after he got off stage, he went straight to Blackburn. He said, "I want you." He's coming back for that belt.
Yes, he is.
But Blackburn is undefeated.
Blackburn is a savage. That guy's a fucking savage. You know, he's the champ for a reason now. But yeah, this is gonna be a really good rematch for sure. I can already see it.
Do you feel that KO Chris has to fight like maybe like a Jewel Scott or a rematch with Manny before he gets to Blackburn? Because there is
yes.
You know, there's like we got Azael moving down, which in my opinion, what he's done in Power Slap, he stayed at number 1 this entire time. He's been slowly moving down the ranks just because they know that he's moving down to 170. I personally feel like he deserves the shot. Some people think that maybe he needs to have a fight before then, but the only person he's ever lost to was John Davis, who was the champ both times he fought him.
Manny would be a good match.
They already fought though. Manny and as they already fought.
No. Manny and
KO Chris.
Yeah. I feel like that would be the match in order to set him up for a title shot. I feel like it's either between him or Azael. I mean, Azael's the dog, you know, and Peto's coming for. He's coming for that belt too. I feel like it. But
yeah,
that would be my choices in between either Manny or Azael for the title shot against Blackburn.
Yeah.
For whoever wins that belt.
But after Power Slap 10, it sounded like the promotion kind of wanted to see Anthony and Manny kind of both do their own thing and then come back to each other. So I mean, we'll see how it plays out. We don't even know when the next card is. So here are their scorecards. They all had it scored for. They actually had Debo winning the first round before he got knocked out.
Oh, wow.
Oh, because Chris clubbed.
Chris clubbed him. That's what I just saw just down the bottom.
Yeah. All right, now we got your brother and Dorian. I'm actually surprised this didn't end in a knockout because every single match your brother's been in has been a knockout. But I'm surprised, but I'm not, because Dorian is such a seasoned veteran. He's been here since season 1. He has the power. He's got the chin. And I think this was your brother's toughest test. It did come down to a split decision. So there's something to say for that, because, you know, your brother newly to Power Slap, not even a year been here, and he fought the number 1. So he should be very proud of that.
Of course. I'm proud of both of them. But at the same time, you know, like you said, Perez is a veteran of the game. And I know it's going to be tough for Pono for sure, especially get that knockout on Perez. But that was a really good match, back and forth, and that's the reason why the scorecards looks exactly like that. Really great match, really great chin from both of them. But yeah, Perez is for sure fucking. He's like one of my favorite out of everyone else too, because he is also a like heel of the whole situation, and he's like just alive. You know, every single interview that he does, he just brings the intensity, and that's what I like to see. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm going to have to go with my brother. It's my brother. But I'm very proud of Pono, you know, for putting it on.
I am too. They used to do press conferences, and Dorian would like steal the show, like with like pre-show conferences. They need to bring those back.
Exactly. I love it. I mean, I'm that type of person too. So seeing someone else that does that, and you have the crowd, the fans, you know, and the media just on your toes. That's what you want.
Yes. Then we get to the ladies. This was actually, hold on. What do we think is next for Dorian? Well, Dorian, I think we established that we want him to fight DeBell again to settle that.
Right.
Pono. That's kind of tough, because maybe fight James to get his lick back, you know, and hit him with the right hand, because he didn't get to hit him with the right hand.
That's true. That's actually true. I know they're probably going to see past that, but I feel like that would be a really good rematch, because there's a storyline behind it. But yeah, it's between either him and, I would say, Aaron Turner, because they both just came off of a loss, and Aaron Turner has a name, and Aaron Turner fought against Wes. I don't know. I feel like it would be something like that, but we'll never know.
That'd be a good one. I would actually like to see Aaron get a little bit more experience, though, because Pono's been, you know, racking up that experience, and experience does play a factor. We did see that in the co-main event. So I don't know.
That's true.
There's a lot of great matches to be made, you know?
There's going to be a lot of great matches. There's a lot of new fish in the sea now, I would say.
Yes. And then we got Miss Paige Van Zandt and Miss Michelle Brown. Paige is getting better and better. I will say that. She's really working on her form. She didn't flinch. She didn't foul at all, which that's something she struggled with. But then, you know, that comes with time and experience, and she's been working behind the scenes to make sure that she can perfect it. I know she was calling for a belt after her win, and she said that you know, if they're going to be competing, they need to be able to chase a belt. So she has her eyes set on that, and I feel like once Paige has her eyes set on something, there's no stopping her.
I agree. And with them having something like you said, an incentive, a belt to actually compete for, that would make the girls division a lot more, I would say, spicier or add more flavor to it. But having that incentive, everyone wants to fight for a belt. But that was a good match between both of them. But like you said, Paige has more experience and she's getting even better all the time.
Yes. Um,
What's up, Brody?
so
What's up, y'all? How
Wes
y'all doing?
decided to
What's
show
up,
up to the
fam?
party. We're
Yo,
just
Okay.
sorry for being
recapping.
late.
No, you're good. No, you're good. You're on time. You're perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we're just talking. This was at the debut of the 125. I think the issue they're having with the women's divisions is that they keep getting talent, but it's not enough in one weight class. So on 10 they had a 115, a 170. Now they have the 125, which they had this one and one on the pre-recording. They've had 135, which Paige competed at before, and Michael as well. And then they had 145 where Jackie and Sheena competed at. So I think it's just a balancing act and getting all the right talent before they actually can. But I would love to see them focus on just one division just to make it grow and then move on to the next one. It's kind of hard though when you have women that want to compete and a little bit of talent here and there. But I truly do believe that they can build the 125 division with the talent that they have now, because they have Paige, they have Michael, they have Chelsea and Eden that was on the early prelims. A lot of the 135 girls can go down to the 125 as well. What's good, Pick'em MMA? Why does bro in the middle look like Gianni the Greek? I don't know who that is.
Oh, they trying to roast. They trying to roast, Steve.
Let's
They
go,
trying to
baby.
roast.
Love me or hate me all day,
Right.
motherfucker.
Free promo, baby.
All day, baby.
Yes,
All right, we're going to
sir.
back up just a little bit because we talked about your match really quick, and I got some epic pictures. I got your scorecards and everything. I just love these photos because it's like David versus Goliath. And we talked about, mad respect to you for taking this on short notice. Respect to Aaron for also keeping the fight on short notice, because he could have said, no, I don't want it. I'm not sure if the nerves of having an actual live crowd played into effect for him. And then, it looked like you injured your hand. So can you tell me more about what happened in that clinch in that moment? Because you went with your left hand.
Yeah, so he definitely injured my thumb. I'm just thankful it wasn't broken or anything. I was just like, man, this something feels wrong. And sure enough, after the match, it was like a balloon. It swelled up like a balloon. And I've been getting treatment for that now. But for the most part, yeah, I injured my thumb. Nothing serious. I just, we talked about it and stuff. It wasn't intentional. It's not like he tried to do it on purpose or anything. So, it is what it is. That's just, nature of the beast. People flinch, it is what it is.
It's just a different ball game. For sure.
I
Yeah.
also wanted to talk to you about the weigh-ins because I was there live and I was like, oh, what is going on up in here?
Yeah,
But,
so he tried to get animated on the stage and everything, and I was just like, really, dude, really? Like, really? And then he dapped me up right when we got to the back of the stage. He's like, bro, I'm just trying to, make a show or whatever. And I'm like, I understand that, but it wasn't even really called for, to be honest. I could see if it was real animosity, but it wasn't real animosity. But I understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to put on a show, so I can respect that in a way. But it wasn't, to me, it just wasn't necessary.
I was looking for some popcorn.
Some showmanship.
Yeah,
I had the popcorn. I brought some.
No,
I brought some
like
popcorn.
the guy, and he's like, boom, boom, like his feet on the stage.
Yeah.
And then,
no,
like, you see little old Frank, like, trying to, like,
right.
Frank's so little compared to him,
Yeah. Aaron's a big boy, man. Much respect to him, man. He's 6'8". You know what I'm saying? I won't lie, he's a good human being, man. Good character guy, good guy. He's the type of guy I like to be surrounded with. I have nothing bad to say about Aaron, to be honest, other than I just wish he didn't flinch. But other than that, I feel like I wasn't able to showcase what I really, wanted to do. Because the times that I came hard, he flinched. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up hitting myself. Even the first slap, won the coin toss, he flinched the first hit. And that just took away from me. Like, damn, I wanted to like really give him my all, and then it's like your health meter goes lower and lower after every hit in a way. But I could see that me being on offense when I hit him, it just hurt my hand. It's like I'm hitting a brick wall. You know, his skull. I'm hitting the back of his skull, so that pretty hurt. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. I'm glad I was able to get this match. You know, Aaron, he's a good guy. I love the violence. I love how he acted before and after the match. Aaron, I have nothing bad to say about him. He's a tall guy. So being 6'7", I had to readjust like my swing. I had to readjust like everything just because he was 6'7", 6'8". You know, it's not easy to go against. I'm 6'1", and then you have to really get up close up in there and try to, you know, make sure I have my power still because you know, that guy's tall. I had to like readapt every single little thing I had to do. I had to learn a whole new swing. Like I had Crazy and Hitman helping me out, you know, for the best way I can. I wasn't able to use my old swing, you know, just due to people saying that I couldn't use that style of swing or whatever, even though they thought I swung a certain way and it really wasn't. But anyways, I'm not gonna get too deep into that. But for the most part, I had to change my swing. You know, he's tall. Again, no excuses for the most part, but I'm just telling you what I went through. Aaron, he's a different type of guy. Like, much respect to him. Um, who knows what would have happened if he, you know, didn't flinch, you know? So he accepted the match. I'm glad we did it. Aaron, I have nothing but good things to say about him. And he's gonna go far in this career because it's like we look for guys that are good quality guys on and off the stage, and he brings the intensity, you know, and I love that about him. Um, Other than that, yeah, man. I mean, I can't wait to see who he fights next. I'd love to still see that James Seekman matchup. You know, I'd like to see him maybe go against Pono, see how that goes. So the future's bright for him for the most part, and I'm anxious to see where it goes.
Yeah, you kind of said exactly what we said too when we were trying to figure out like what the next matchups are. We said that we would like to see you and Nate, but let me bring this back really quick. I started chuckling when you're like, "Oh, it was hitting like a brick wall," because you always say brick to face, so
Right,
that made me
right.
chuckle a little bit.
Yeah.
No pun
Yeah, so I
intended.
mean, you know, he does. He for the most part, I feel like he does have a chin. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I guess maybe getting those nerves out. He was maybe nervous. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get hit much. He only got hit one time from Brian,
Hmm.
and then he knocked everybody out. So it's just like, you know, he's experienced. Every time he goes up on that stage, I feel like he'll get better and better and better, just like I have.
Hmm.
Um, but for the most part, yeah, he's just an adjustment. You have to make an adjustment with Aaron because he is so tall. And
Hmm.
it's
Yes.
just like, and then you can see him compared to me, and like on his swing, he has to actually readjust to my height, you know, for him to really swing and get that swing. So it's a tough fight for so whoever goes against Aaron, he will bring that swing, he will bring that velocity, and he's a tall guy. So if you're not 6'4", 6'5", you're gonna have a problem trying to reach his chin because he's so high up there. And it's just like, you know, it's just an adjustment you have to make. But more props to him.
I was going to say that I actually was concerned going into this match because we have
Yeah.
seen where there was a significant height difference
Yeah.
where the shorter person couldn't get the strike off correctly and they were just getting called for steps, but they had to move their feet to be able to reach. But you did great there. Let's pull up these scorecards and see what's what. I think I
Hmm.
was really
Interesting.
surprised that the last judge on the right hand side had given Aaron the round, even when he lost a point, he still gave him 10. Am I reading that correctly?
On the very bottom.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
well,
see. The chief might be better at reading all this stuff for
point
me. I don't
deduction,
really.
it says 1, but he still got 10. He still got 10 points.
Oh,
Turner for
okay.
flinching. They took away a point, right? For
Is
flinching.
it?
Yeah, it
That
was in the
Isn't it
third
like half
round.
a
So
point
everyone had the point
for every
deduction in the third
flinch?
round, and he had a 9, but the judge on the right wrote 10 with a deduction. So that it should have been a 9-9, which
Yeah, I see that too.
so you would have had unanimous decision. Or maybe I don't know. I don't know how to do math. 28. Yeah, you would have had a unanimous decision because you would have been down. It would have been 28-27.
Hmm.
Also, I would have been down.
If I'm reading
Yeah,
this
if
correctly,
the
because it said
deductions are proven.
if you look on the one where it's pink,
Yeah.
Chris Lee's card, and I
Yeah.
can send you this picture after. It says that they gave you the first round and they gave him the next two, but in the third round they took a point and they still gave him 10 points, and then they gave you 9, and then it says 28-28.
Yeah, I see that.
So it
That's
should have
kind
been
of that's kind of weird.
28-27. It should have been unanimous decision.
Mm. That's crazy.
Scoring,
Yeah,
scoring.
it is what it
But
is.
I love this picture because it shows the actual size difference here.
Yeah, yeah. That's
The
dope.
David versus
I like
Goliath.
that picture. I like that.
Yeah, you're right too. You know that because of that height, that is a problem. You're taking away all that sense of gravity. You know, because you're
Yeah.
hitting
Your
upwards,
power.
you're not coming
Hitting
down,
upwards.
right?
And it's
Yeah,
yeah, and it's like you're like you it's a little bit harder to transfer your energy going upwards. I'm like,
yeah,
damn, I didn't think it was. I mean, I practiced it, the last 5, 6 days, because obviously I took the fight in 5 days notice. But when I was practicing, I was like, damn, that's kind of uncomfortable.
yeah.
And yeah, I wasn't able. And then when I slapped on my left, when I injured my right, and I slapped on my left, it was just like I had no juice. So now I have to go back to the playing field, and now I took a mental note. So now I know if a situation like this ever happens against a Damian DeBell or Dorian Perez, I gotta make sure my left is on point with my right. Because if it's not, I'm gonna be there for a long. It's gonna be a long day for me, and
That's true.
I'm not making that mistake ever again. So I will be training as much as I train with my right to my left, because I don't want to be on stage with that feeling like, damn, now I have to hit my weak hand. Fuck,
Yeah,
So
you
it's
gotta
just
adapt. You gotta adapt at that time, and that anything happens. This one. I was
yeah.
thinking the same. I was thinking the same thing too last night. Like if I hit the wrong way or even just breaking one of my fingers, I have to adapt to striking with my left hand side, no matter
Oh,
what.
we got someone else joining us. The champ is
Okay.
here.
Oh,
Hey, the
Robert,
real deal,
there he
baby.
goes.
We are kind of skipping around just a little bit, so I'm going to remove this. I'm going to skip to his match,
Okay.
so that way we could just talk about it, and then we'll go back to the other one, the Riley match and the Page match.
All right. The champ is here. The
What's up,
real
my dude?
deal.
How you guys doing?
I'm doing all
Good.
right,
How are
Robert.
you? Your face,
Good,
the
good.
swelling looks like it went down. You got a little bit bruising,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it was pretty swollen.
Ooh, the
okay,
champ.
Rob. I didn't even ask you this in the media room, but I just wanted to know. Like, have you? I know you now that you have time to wrap your head around this. I'm sure you've envisioned this for the longest time because you've been the uncrowned king, the uncrowned champ. You finally got the title, but have you wrapped your mind around it that you are forever cemented in the Power Slap books as the first ever lightweight champion?
Mm-hmm.
It's been crazy. Yeah, I've been trying to wrap my head around everything. I was really putting it into perspective. Actually, that yesterday was like the first day I was really putting it in perspective that like I'm an actual world champion. Like this is a worldwide sport now. We got different countries competing, and just knowing that like I'm the champion for like a worldwide organization, it's pretty surreal. Yeah, it's crazy.
And all right, the first call you made was to your kids. How were they when you brought the belt home and they got to see it and everything?
Oh, they're super excited. My daughter's mom was showing me some videos of when my opponent was walking out, and my daughter, she's gonna be 4 this year, so she doesn't like anything done to me. So when my opponent was walking out, she's screaming, "You're not gonna beat my dad! You're not gonna
Oh,
beat my dad!" And me just watching those videos, it just it adds a little bit more fire. I got the bout, but still I got fire to keep doing bigger things.
and then I have this picture. Let me see. Right here. No, that's the wrong one. Okay. This is you standing right here, and this is when you knocked.
Ooh.
I was about to say Isaiah just because it's Isaiah's face, but you knocked Dakota down. What was going through your head right there? Like, did you think he was going to get up?
He looked pretty good. And Wolverine did a great job, coaching. I think if he would have jumped up at that moment, he would have been stumbling, and they might have called the match. But Wolverine jumped on the stage with him. He was practically laying down there with him, and he told him, hey, take your time. And once I saw he was able to take his time, and come to his senses, I knew he was good. He's a tough ass kid.
Yes.
And that pick right there, my son's the one. He told me, he's Dad, if you drop him, he's like, do the Johnny Cage off of Mortal Kombat. Johnny Cage, he finished his opponent, crosses his arms. So
Nice.
had to throw one in there.
Love it.
So you were thinking of him. Well, obviously you're
Yeah.
always thinking of your kids, but like sometimes in those moments, like you can only think about what's in front of you. But I love that like you thought about that.
Yeah, like I'm still like it's kind of crazy. I've talked to like a lot of strikers, who kind of say that they like black out up there, or they kind of forget what's going on other than the match, but I'm still, I don't know, like if I just haven't got hit that hard yet, but I'm fully aware of everything that's going on up there. I'm fully aware of everything that's in my head and like what I'm doing it for, and I can almost piece together the match, memory by memory, and everything I was thinking at each moment. So yeah, as soon as he went down, I just thought of my son. I said, I'm gonna go do this real quick.
I love it. And then normally I don't talk about pre-recordings, but Power Slap had posted this, so I'm going to bring this up. But Andrew Fields looked like he knocked the guy out. I'm not sure what his plans are, but would you see him as a worthy opponent, or is there like a 170er that you could see coming down that could be potentially worthy? Because in the press conference afterwards, you said you didn't think that there was anybody in the division that can hang with you at all.
No, I like Andrew a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I don't even think he could beat Dakota, and I'm not even just being biased about that. Dakota's a whole different level, and Andrew just kind of went against a new guy. I saw I kind of you know see him as an opponent like from when he went against Jewel. Like he didn't even want to get hit by Jewel, and I said of course I said it plenty of times before. I put Jewel to sleep, and he didn't even want to get hit by Jewel. So ultimately, like I think if someone does want to challenge me at 155, I do think I think either Josh is gonna have to give me a match if he wants to come back, or I think someone has to go through Dakota because I just honestly think if it comes down to it, it might be a rematch between him unless they do give me someone at 170 because I just don't think any of these guys could beat Dakota at 155.
I agree.
I agree. The crazy thing is, Petty, that you don't see behind the scenes. When I was at the Apex, or excuse me, the PI with Robert. Remember, Robert, we were hitting the bags, but when I felt him launch his hand on that pad, I was like, "Oh yeah, no wonder they call him the real deal." So I was just like, much respect, and man, and then obviously being my coach from season 3, Robert, I have nothing but tremendous respect for you, man. You were just an awesome athlete. You know what I'm saying? You're one of the guys that I look up to, as well as the crazy Hawaiian. You guys are pioneers of the sport, bro, and I just much respect to you, and I love where this goes for you. Like I don't see really nobody messing with you right now, dog.
No,
On a different level, and I have nothing but respect for your game.
Thank you, man, and same here.
Yeah,
I'm glad both of you guys are on my team.
yeah,
It's crazy to see like where you guys are going. You're 4-0 right now.
yeah.
What do you, Chief? I know you're like on a pretty crazy streak right now, and you know,
agreed.
um, to see you taking out fucking like alumni, like Wesley, like that. Like after you ate your first hit, I was like, oh shit, Wesley might be back, and then your second hit was just what the fuck,
Yeah.
you know. And then West,
Yeah.
dude, you took the fight on short notice, bro,
Yeah.
against fucking, Aaron's my dude too, but I mean,
Yeah.
you've been my boy. We've been locked in since I drafted you. I
Yeah.
saw you there, and I was like, I said, give me West, since I
Yeah.
drafted you. We've been locked in since, and
Yeah.
I was even nervous for you coming into this match. I was like, Aaron's a big boy. I saw him knock out this dude. And you went out there and you fucking handled that shit, bro. Dude, you fully won me over right there, dude. Like you've been like I said, you've been my dude, but as a competitor, you fully won me over right there because that was just awesome to watch.
Yeah, I felt like I was able to hold my own because I was my chin was tested. I did stumble a little bit, but for the most part, I held my own and I felt really good about it. And for what I can do, I mean, he did get those finishing calls, but it's like there'll be other opportunities where I can really showcase more of my technique and my power and everything. But yeah, man, I appreciate that, brother.
I want to say something really quick. I feel like people need to put more respect on Wes's name, because when he competed in Abu Dhabi, he went against the Hulk. This man was way bigger than him, and they keep just throwing these people that are bigger and bigger than him, and it's always like this David and Goliath situation, and he just keeps taking them out. So, man,
Yeah,
Yeah,
respect to you, and people need to just recognize that and put some respect on your name.
Yeah,
I
well, like he
appreciate
stated
that.
before, I feel like I was the first guy who came in here to Power Slap saying, like my dream is the UFC. And now I feel like there's a lot of like MMA fighters, coming in saying that. But MMA doesn't always translate into this sport, like
Yeah,
Some
okay.
people like you either got it or you don't, and like unfortunately, a lot of MMA fighters' chins are already cracked, so they come in here and just take a full ass blown hit like that. I mean, they're not gonna be able to take it. And I've said it plenty times before. Like, you put Poetan against Russell Rivero at 205. Poetan's one of the scariest fucking men on this earth. But you let Russell get the coin toss on him, dude, he might sleep him on the first hit. So like,
Facts.
for
Yeah.
like MMA fighters, it doesn't always translate. Like, you just gotta have that chin.
Yes, absolutely. Aaron, thank you for clarifying that because I did say I was wondering if the live show affected his performance. Because that's the reason why when I talked to Frank and Erica, they said that they do the pre-recordings, so they bring new people on there or people who don't have as much experience because they don't want to just throw them in a live show. So that's why I was kind of questioning that. So thank you for clarifying because I didn't want to speak for you. I just said I was wondering. And then he said, "I wish I was more focused, but shoulda, coulda, woulda." Wes was focused and performed, and he got the W fair and square. No excuse on my end. Mad respect to both of you guys because you guys both took it on short notice. Like I know you had a match plan, but then changing up for a different opponent, you have to change your technique and your style. So, Anthony, we're gonna bring you in here just shortly. Sorry, we're just running just a little bit behind. Okay, and then Rob, I wanted to ask you. These are the scorecards. I'm not sure if you could see it, but two judges had it scored perfect score for you, and the middle judge right here in the blue had it scored in. They actually gave Dakota a round. Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I actually was, and I'm not taking anything away from Dakota. He's a gangster. He gave me the best match I've ever had, but I think anyone who watched it, just shows, how dominant of a champion I am, and I just don't think he touched me. I don't think he won any round. Like you watched me take those hits, I don't think he even moved my head off center line on any hit. And the type of power he generates, like you guys have seen it,
Mhm.
Riley's my boy. Riley had a big knockout, and dude, Dakota flatlined him. Dakota flatlined this other kid. And I was even talking to Luke Simons. Luke Simons was on season 3, and we're talking, and he's like, "Yeah, he's all before the match. He's all, I was thinking, he's like, Rob got this. Rob got this. He's all, but then I was hanging out with Anthony DeFrank and Dakota. He's like, in Dakota, I was hitting the pad, and he's like, I honestly like switched up. He's like, shit. I think Dakota might win this. He's all, he gets first hit, and he hits this hard. So like I think everyone like realized, I don't think too many people realize how hard Dakota hits, and like I said, he couldn't even move my head off center line.
Yeah, I feel like Dakota does have a heavy hand, 100%, and that's the reason why they set that match up, especially with you, bro. But yeah, he could be a problem for the rest of the people that's in the division. But yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one.
I
As
want
he
to see
grows.
Josh. I want to see Josh go at it,
And
man.
I'm
I
glad
want to
that
see
you brought
Josh.
up the Riley and Anthony. They're in your division. Riley's this was a very he kind of struggled on the show a little bit and he came out and have this incredible performance. So he could kind of be in title contention soon, I guess you would say, because Anthony was number 3. So if Josh doesn't come back, then he could possibly be your next opponent.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind it, but at the same time, it's like one of those things. Another thing, like he stated in his post fight interview that he wouldn't dare go against Dakota again. And I mean, if I just don't think if you can't get through him, like how are you gonna go through me?
Exactly.
And you know what I mean. So if he could, he could turn it around. Like Riley's my boy. I was so happy for him. I love Anthony too. I like all the guys in my weight class. And to see them all building up, and climbing that ladder to me, it's great to see. But like I said, I feel like if any of them do want that shot at me next, they do have to go through Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
What I thought was so funny about their match, Anthony was like nothing. Then he called him the pussy. And then he had to get slapped again. And Riley's just like he's like the quiet one, but then he just like flips you off. So like you can always look forward to seeing that. They actually I didn't get their scorecards, but they actually didn't matter.
Yeah, I think it was the first round.
Let's bring. Well, okay, so what do you think is next for Anthony then?
DeFrank.
Yeah, he's gonna have to fight down probably.
Yeah, he might have to fight down, and still hard at this point. I like to see William Shockey back. I know he's he's technically 2-0, but he did get dropped by Isaac Gunther on the show. But Gunther fouled. I would definitely like to see Isaac Gunther back because he's young and I mean,
Mhm.
he's just growing and getting stronger. So I definitely like to see him back. He has a boxing background, so I think he'd be able to do some things. Yair Roberto, I don't know if he'd want to come back to 155 because I know part of the only reason he got put to bed was because he was struggling to cut all the weight, and he ultimately didn't make weight on the season. So I think he goes up to 170. I think that'd be a good move for him. And yeah, I know Gianni Huerta said he's been working. We got guys in my weight class, but they do all still need to prove themselves. Like we
So
just built this division this season, but none of them have really got a chance to go prove themselves in the live show.
I was actually surprised that not only one but two matches actually happened in the lightweight division because ever since the division started, every single match has fallen apart.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
All right, let's go back to Paige Van Zandt really quick, and then we'll hop on to the oh, too far. Yeah, Paige Van Zandt and Michael.
Yeah, I was so happy for her. Paige was locked in the back in that locker room. Had her and Austin there. I was so happy for Paige, just because of the fact that I know, her husband won that UFC fight, and it meant a lot her for her to just go ahead and dominate and win this fight. So I was extremely happy for her. She put on a great show, and much respect to her opponent. She's an awesome person too. Just the experience that she even has. She's gaining experience. So as that's her second fight, as like I said, once you go through your first fight and then get to your second, you start becoming better and better. So like much props to both of them. Paige is an absolute beast, and I was happy for her.
I love it. Yeah, I'm
we
excited
got
to
the
see the
other
women's
champ in
division
the
grow.
house.
I just had to bring Babyface on here because I just
Baby
needed to know what's up
face.
with both of you guys because both of your guys' last matches, you guys called each other out.
Ah,
Well, see, I see how, like, I don't know, because, all right, so yeah, we both want to be double champ, so I think it makes sense to try it at 55 because we both would have to make the cut. That would make it kind of fair.
Yeah, and I see it because I know I watched Anthony in all his matches, and he's a fucking competitor, and that's what I like. And like I said, Manny's my boy. Him and Manny have went at it, but he won both those matches. He beat Chris, and I don't know what's going on with Jewel, but I don't even know if that match ever happens. And I've
Right.
already beat Jewel, so I feel like there's no one left for him in his weight class, and until the guys in my weight class continue to prove themselves, I don't think there's anyone for me. So I just think it's a good matchup overall. I think it'd be a great match.
I asked Frank about it. He didn't really seem like he was going to go for it.
I think he
That's
wants
a
me
press
to.
conference, so it's like public.
I think he wants me to go Azael, which I like that matchup too. He's coming down from middleweight. That'll be his first welterweight match. He'll have to make the weight if he doesn't have a match before that. Him and KO Chris might make sense. Something Cole
You're
Young.
very you're very popular, Anthony. So this trip right here in Vegas, you had Rob coming for you, you had KO Chris coming for you, and I saw you face off with Azael.
I was screaming my head off after Chris won because obviously I wanted Debo to win, but Chris locked in and he seemed very, very focused. Hit him right on the button. Feet were planted. The first shot was a little club. Wasn't too bad, but you could tell he was definitely locked in and different energy.
What did he say to you when he came down and pointed at you?
He said, I want you. I gave you the shot. Now I get my shot. That's what he said.
that'd be a
But he
great
didn't have the
matchup.
belt when you went against him.
I mean, he's not the matchmaker either, but I respect that he was making his call out. I was right there ready. I was waiting on the stage side. Like, come on now. Because I like the matchup. I fucking knocked him out of his shoes once, knocked him down again. I think I eat a shot better this time around because I'm obviously going to train and get stronger and work on my strike. And I obviously put him down already. So see what happens. See what the matchmaking does.
Okay. All right. We talked about this picture. This was an incredible moment, by the way.
That's a bad
And then this was an epic picture, I thought, so I wanted to share it here. But Brandon's unfortunately not able to make it tonight. So, Chief, do you want to start us off with what your thoughts were on this match?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I had a feeling because Butcher is putting in the work. You can see it behind the scenes. I mean, he's a different type of dog right now. But going against Isaiah, it's if the Butcher gets his shot, for sure he has a knockout power to put Isaiah down. He did it in the last match. So, yeah, that's the reason why he's a champ now. But it doesn't really matter. I'm going to have to face him sooner or later. Isaiah, he's a champ too for a reason, and he brings a dog out every single time, in every single match. But unfortunately, it just wasn't his night. But with Isaiah, I see that there's going to be a trilogy, 100%, and it's going to be either between him or Isaiah that I'm going to have to face later on in the future. But congrats to both of them,
Yeah, he earned that.
Cards up. Okay, let me get all of your guys' opinion. Chief, who do you think should? Do you think they should get a trilogy, or do you think you should go next? I know we talked about it earlier.
I'm definitely going next. I mean, I'm just waiting for that call, baby.
Yeah, I think Isaiah could use a little break,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a break already for the most part. I'd love to see them go at it again, to be honest. I really think Isaiah has to be really locked in because I just saw when I saw Brandon, he was just in a whole nother stratosphere. He was locked in. I barely see him. If he was with his family, he was just training, and yeah, he was locked in. Yeah, that's a badass dude. Isaiah cannot make any mistakes on the next match. If they go against a rematch, he cannot make no mistakes. Because if he does make a mistake and Brandon goes, you know damn well Brandon's gonna come with everything and he's not gonna miss. So Isaiah has to be prepared to make sure that he does not mess up. He does not, cause a club or that he has to make contact with Brandon because Brandon's gonna come correct and. I don't see nobody taking it from Brandon. If Isaiah doesn't mess up, then I can see Isaiah getting it back. But if he messes up, I can see.
You're gonna disrespect Chief to his
What I'm
face.
saying? No, Chief is gonna be right up there, right up there. No, Chief is gonna be right there.
No, I got you, my boy.
What if they made Chief Azael?
Ooh,
I know. Hey,
That's
but
boring.
just
I have
what?
my perfect lineup already.
So I
And-
manifested this a long time ago, and I want to say this now because it's the petty corner, right? So let's be a little petty. If I ever do decide to just like dismantle and take the belt from either Isaiah or Brandon next, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to be kind of bored, so I'm able to drop weight, and I know how to make weight all the time. So I'll see you guys in 170, baby. Love you guys.
Rob, what were you about to say?
So my perfect lineup. And I know this is not gonna be popular to Chief right now, but I think the next time they line up a middleweight card, I think they should give Dorian the shot, and Chief and Isaiah should be a number one contender match right under them.
Yeah.
See, I kind of want Darren to stand in there a little better. He can't be champion. He can't be champion moving around like that, man. That's not cool.
Yeah,
you know what? Though I was so surprised that they didn't call a club on Isaiah. When
I mean, it's not super. It's not. He's definitely moving. We can all agree on that.
Because
it was really bad against Chief. The next one was still kind of bad. But when Isaiah went to hit Brandon, I think his nose is broken. There was like blood squirting out of it. He hit like all nose, but they didn't call a club.
Yeah,
shout out to Brandon for he's like, fuck this, give me my shot. I'm going back in.
Yeah.
And and he did it.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I didn't even know that he broke his nose.
Dude, as soon as as I rewatched it today, I watched it when I was there, but like I always like to come home and rewatch it before I talk about it again. Immediately, both of his eyes were black,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, two black guys.
He's a
in
freaking
that.
and he had
warrior,
like
man.
they had the
That's a
medical
broken
team up
nose
there,
for
and they
sure.
like wiped it, and after they wiped it, like blood literally squirted out of it, like
Mhm.
shot out of it. It was all crooked and stuff. So
Epic.
I love it.
he'll
I
probably
love it.
need
That's
like
the
a couple
violence
weeks
I
off
love.
before
I
he
love
even
shit like
does
that.
anything.
I mean,
But I actually brought Blackburn on here too because he was a part. Him and Wolverine were the coaches for the new training camps that they're doing in Vegas. I'm not sure if you guys see my reel, but Frank had spoken at the press conference saying they want to do those bi-monthly. I just wanted to get you guys like your guys' opinion on who do you think would be like really great coaches, to bring in next time. Rob's been a coach, like he's like the OG
Rob.
coach.
Rob.
for sure.
Just anybody with a lot of experience, I would definitely recommend. Anybody with matches under their belt, 5, 6 plus. Anybody from season 1 or before, and some of these guys that just joined. If you wanted to take pointers from them because they've been having success, 4-0 and stuff like that. Obviously, you want to sponge from everybody, but really at these camps, you want people with experience and people that are showing that they have success in not fouling and they're striking clean and taking shots clean and not showing people how to do the wrong thing.
100%.
You know what? That there's somebody that has never had a foul before, and they have like 7 or 8 matches.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure at least one had a foul in there. Yeah, I don't know.
Vern's never fouled before.
Wow.
So I think he might be a good choice as well. I mean, he's also a season 1 guy, so that'd be cool because he knows like how to move the body, like the technique. I mean, all you guys do, especially like the older days guys. Rob was like, while they were trying to build the division around him, he was like the definite coach. Damien Nabel, he was another one of those that they had him coaching a lot because they couldn't get him matches.
He was my coach in Abu Dhabi. He definitely knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And big shout out to Cheese Brother Pono. Like he's an awesome coach. He even helps me with a lot of things.
Yes.
So.
Same here.
That right on one thing that they do.
Yeah.
Hey man,
I mean, I saw. Now that you said that, someone ended up talking about it. I think it was Ryan Phillips. He ended up saying something and made a comment on Facebook, and I saw that about the lean. And then I was like, dude, everyone has their own flavor in the game. I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't work for anyone else, that's the reason why you're learning and you're adapting. If not, if you're not learning, then you should not be in this sport. That's what I say to everyone.
Okay, all I'm going to say is Anthony Blackburn has been going right on one since day 1, and he's like undefeated. So,
rightfully so.
Right on one. The right on one arm.
But what was the experience like behind the scenes, going in there early with the new people into the Apex to train, and maybe you could shed some light with all of us on what the training camps kind of look like.
It was really kind of relaxed. It wasn't really super structured. Everyone kind of split up into their own groups. Mark Smith was helping the girls, and me and Wolverine were helping guys in different groups, and everyone was just getting comfortable getting up there in the box. Really, we had boxes set up on the floor and a makeshift table. Well, it was the old table, so we had a real table there, and just really practice lining up, really practice measuring and striking clean. It was my focus anyways.
So to someone who has never I'm not a power slapper, I'm not a striker. Like when you have a new person, like say I wanted to join and they sent me to this camp, like what is your main focus there? Like obviously you're going to teach me how to like move my handle. Like what's the technicality and everything behind it? I don't know if you guys all want to share like one thing or something.
For new people, I think it's just, telling them what they're going to expect up there and letting them know from what you've experienced what they need to expect, and all the lights, the cameras, it's a whole thing. It's really a big experience. A lot of people don't get to intake that much. You know, it's a lot going on at the same time. So just yeah, just explaining from experience what to expect.
I
What
would
do
I
you think,
would
Rob?
add
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I would add like learning the defensive side, adding it to the camp as much as possible. Because if you can lessen, of course, the flinching, the movement and all that kind of stuff, while you can take a slap and just be a dog with it, then it will fine tune everyone's game on the defensive side.
What do you think, Rob? The new champ.
New camp, yeah. Kind of like what Blackburn was saying, it's just I'd work on them really with the mentality side, and then of course breathing techniques. You guys always hear me talk about it. Helped all my guys in season one. Work with their breathing, whether it's striking or defense. Um, Breath is what keeps you standing. You know what I mean? I already talked about the chin, but even guys that are not that good of a chin can learn how to take a shot a little better if they breathe right. So I definitely work on with a lot of things like that.
And
What do you
another
think,
thing
Black?
with me, Petty, I wanted to say that when I'm like telling somebody about like my experiences and stuff like that, or maybe they want to learn about what I do, I tell them, hey, learn the rules. I try to tell them learn the rules first, and then we can start off from there. You got to learn how to, not flinch. Learn to keep your 2 feet on the floor. You can't step. You can't club. Where the hand needs to meet where the face is at. Have 3 points of contact with the hand to the face. I teach them that stuff first before I say anything. Once you understand that, then you can have a better idea of how you need to slap and all that good stuff, being within the rules, because that's very important. The last thing you want is for you to go against a rookie and he flinches, fouls, clubs, whatever, and then you injure yourself, or it's just an overall bad match. That's what we trying to want to eliminate. We want good athletes on there that are coachable and able to apply and adapt to the sport, so it can be a good match.
Is there like a very basic strike that works for everybody, or it just depends on like your size and your body type and all that, or even gender to gender? Because I heard like women, they can use their legs more than guys, where they carry like where men are like very stronger up top, so they can use
I
the way
really,
they
I
move their
really feel
body.
like it
I
depends
don't
on the
know
on the
what's correct
body
or what's
type,
not, but
on the body type or the type of person. It's all about their flexibility, their mobility. It's like, do they have an athletic background? Do they know how to twist and turn? Do they know how to transfer their chi energy, like their energy, into a slap? It's a lot of things I guess you can take as a factor about when you're training somebody and all that good stuff. Because guys and girls are different, So like it depends on the person to me.
And I also think it has a lot to depend on your opponent as well. Wes would probably tell you he went against a giant dude. He had to switch up his, not really his style, but he did have to maneuver a few things, and that's kind of what I have to do when I go against these taller guys. Um, Generally I like to face someone who's about like 5'9", 5'10", because it's perfect height right there. But go against these taller guys. I'm throwing just a little bit higher, and it's kind of is just more arm than it is, a lot of my hip going into it. It's kind of more arm just because I'm having to reach so high. So
Yeah.
there's
So
a few
Rob, how do you
different things.
feel? Can I ask you something, Rob? How do you feel about taller guys when you're maybe striking an opponent? How do you feel? Do you feel more comfortable? Like, how do you feel? Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
love going against taller guys, bro. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's why, and that's literally what I told Dana and Frank. I said, until you get someone in my weight class who's built like me, it ain't gonna be a match because all these taller guys, their chins just hanging right there for like fruit on a tree, and I'm gonna go snatch the fruit. And
Yeah.
for me, it's a little bit harder for them to find my chin because I'm short. A lot of them they're hitting me right on my cheek or my eye, and that's not gonna budge me. Hit me on my cheek. You could really do got to find that chin.
did you
Mhm.
find any difficulty facing Dakota because he was over 6 foot?
The difficulty I found is he was actually getting a lot lower than I was expecting him to. I hit him high a few times, right on the cheek. Right here. And I know some of it. He was, I think the first crowd kind of got to him because he was kind of moving a lot. And I'm not saying he was flinching. I think it was just more of his body movements. But he was kind of moving a lot every time I went to hit him, and it was hard for me to get a flush shot on him. But I think me gauging, I was expecting him just to be a little higher every time I hit, so I think that kind of messed with me a little bit.
Awesome. Well,
My phone's gonna die,
you
y'all.
secured the win. You got the belt. Thank you for being here,
All right,
Anthony.
baby
I appreciate
face.
you. Thank you for sharing the insight on
Yeah.
the training camp and everything. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Peace.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the comments really quick. Azael did mention that he only had 2 fouls per his 9 matches, so that could also be a good contender for a coach. And he's also been here since day 1. Somebody wanted to know, is Slap Jesus still in trouble with the law? I have no idea.
Probably.
Probably, yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, whoa.
Alan wants to know, did Wes mention Qigong?
Who?
Qigong.
Qigong?
Qi.
Oh, Chi.
Where you're
Yeah.
talking about Qi. Yeah.
Yeah, the Chi. Yeah. I get that from Crazy actually.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You know what? I'm excited for all 3 of you for what's next. You guys are all coming off wins, respectfully in their own ways. Wes, yours was last minute. Chief, you were probably the underdog because you were coming in against one of the most seasoned guys in your division, and Rob, you had a huge layoff, so sometimes ring rust or stage rust plays no effect. But you went up there, you did your thing, you look so comfortable, and you're like, "This is my stage, and ain't nobody having it." So I just want to say I'm so proud of you guys, and I cannot wait to see what's next for you guys. And I appreciate you guys for being here and all that you guys do for the sport.
Thank you. Yeah, I think season
Thank you.
3, blue team went 4-0 Friday night. I'm pretty sure, and us 3, Riley got a win. I don't know if there was anyone else from the season on our team that night, but
No, I think that was it. But
No,
yeah,
that's
blue
it.
team.
Yeah.
Blue team season 3.
Yeah.
I love that they're bringing back old faces and new faces. It's so refreshing because we kept seeing like the same faces for a while, which is not a bad thing. But it's like we didn't see the old guys, and now we're seeing the older
I
faces
was
come
happy
back,
to
and
see like
now we're like meshing the
Caesar.
sport and kind of like making it, see
Yeah.
what's what.
Yeah, I was happy to see Caesar and like some of those old guys from season 3. So I was so
Yeah,
happy for
I
some
can't
of
comment
them.
on his match right now, but
Oh.
well, I don't know what they post. Did they post it online? I don't know.
I don't.
Oh, I have no idea. I'm just going based
don't
on
know.
just Caesar. I'm
We'll
just
talk
talking
about it when the
Caesar.
video comes out.
Okay.
Oops.
Yeah,
But
right?
until then, no comment.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's good. But yeah, you guys got anything else?
When
Love
are we
you
gonna
all.
update the rankings?
It should be
Hopefully-
updated tomorrow. They
Ooh,
usually do
yeah.
Tuesdays.
That's what I was excited for. Yeah. So
Yeah.
To see a C next to your name.
yeah, finally, shit.
Yeah.
You should have just been the interim champ. Because, like,
We here. She's riding around with us all over.
There
let's
we
go.
go,
Yeah,
baby.
she need to take that everywhere with you. Yo, there's like Rampage Jackson's fighting Quinton. Wait, no, that's Rampage is Quinton. Is fighting who's he? Rashid Evans in New Mexico. You're gonna have to go to that and
Oh,
put your
yeah.
belt on.
I
They're
seen
boxing.
that.
That's gonna be sick. Yeah.
I think it's
I'm
like
gonna
next
check
month or in May.
Is it gonna be bare knuckle?
No, they're doing like just like a traditional boxing match. They're old.
Oh, okay.
They can't do bare knuckles.
I
They're
think
like
they
in
just
their
added,
40s.
they just added another big name to the card too. Why am I blanking on his name? But it's gonna be a really great card to be honest. I might have to go and check it out. But I will be in Miami for UFC next
Oh,
month.
I'm jealous.
Oh,
I'm
in
so
April.
jealous.
Yeah.
Okay. Fabulich said, Tria, what do you think you could wait? Sorry. What lightweight do you think could be a good challenger for you? Not sure if you're gonna answer that. He already did, but I will let him go again. And then he said Gunther or Bovair.
I think Bovair probably would give me a really good match, but after my match with Dakota, like I said, I just don't think none of them are. I don't think none of them are Dakota's level. Even Josh, I don't even think he's there. And like I said, Dakota's like right under me, So I think if one of them ultimately gets to him, I think it'd be good. I think if Isaac keeps growing, gets stronger, he's a young kid. I think he's gonna be a problem for any of them. And Josh could be a problem for anyone, but I just don't know what's going on with him. He was a competitor on the season, and once he got home, I don't know I don't know what happened to him, but you know, and that Brendan guy, whoever he's mentioning, that guy probably wouldn't even be top 5 in the division. And with these guys, you know, he just happened to get a lucky hit, and he was the weirdo. So I don't even think I don't even think he's part of the roster anymore. So
I don't even know who that guy is. I'm like, wait, who's that?
You
My
heard it
bad.
first in the camp.
yeah, he's just he beat one of the guys I beat, but it was just kind of a weird ass match. And then he's kind of talking my ear off the whole night. Like he was like one of those dudes who's like low key talking smack but riding me at the same time. So
Oh,
I just didn't really like his I really didn't like where he was coming from. But I mean that dude was weighed like 145, and I probably would have broke that guy's neck if I hit him. So he definitely would have been a
facts.
good match.
Said he fought Dallas Maroon on 5 at
Yeah.
5 on a taped fight.
hmm
Dallas
And
Maroon was the blonde
he was
tall guy
supposed to
through.
be
Oh
my
yeah, I remember that when the guy that was the guy that smacked you and you just smiled back. You're like,
yeah. Well, the Brandon guy was supposed to face him, and he tested positive for steroids, so they gave me
Damn.
Dallas Marone instead, the guy that he beat. Yeah. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, he did one fight that disappeared. Well, there you have it. He was on steroids.
yeah, he tested positive for steroids, and then I don't know if he just never got the call back after his suspension or what, but definitely said, like I said, he wouldn't be top 5 with the power fight with the lightweights that they have ranked right now. So I don't think he would have been a good matchup.
He said, "Oh yeah, I remember. He tested positive. I didn't know. They just cut him from the sport, although he's inactive on socials as well. You know, a lot of the times when they pop positive, they don't really get cut from the sport. They'd probably usually have to pay a fine and then like take like a 6-month suspension until it's out of their system. Whether or not he stopped doing steroids, maybe that might have deterred him from coming back. Who knows? I don't know. And half of you guys don't even remember him. Real deal. Tell Dana to set us up. Listen, Lexington, I don't know you, and I appreciate you for being here, but there's a long list of guys that's after Rob right now.
Yeah. There's
Chris still got to keep his belt. That's interesting. But his wasn't steroids. I think it was medication. I don't know.
yeah, his was medication.
Mhm.
And
So he
yeah,
probably
like
got like
you said
the story came
Lexington,
out that he might have got cleared or something.
Lexington, I got a list to go. Like I said, I laugh at a lot of these new guys who ain't even part of the promotion. You know, I'll be talking to guys in the stands, they're like, Trill, let's go. And I'm like, bro, it's like, I don't even know if you get signed to this promotion, much less get a shot at me, you know, like, you know, put an application in, prove that you could beat one of the guys in the top 5, and then we'll see where it goes from there. You know, I'm not the matchmaker and I don't got any shots on that calling, you know what I mean? So
Long list,
people are
baby, a long
gonna.
list.
The chat just took a turn. They're talking about steroids and other drugs to help you stay off of drugs and everything. I don't want to speak on people's past. That kind of stuff was 2 years ago, and you know, a lot of those people are not the same people that they were 2 years ago. So I don't want to speak on those, and I really don't know. Like I did read an article on it, but I don't know the facts, so I'm not going to speak on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
me
then put
either.
some
Yeah.
respect on my boy Rob, man. Don't call out something that you can't kill.
Appreciate you,
You know
brother.
what? It's hypothetically say they don't do a power slap match in April or May, and they always do one for International Fight Week. For the last 2 years, they've always done one. It's in Vegas. They still have 3 matches that they need in Vegas for to fulfill their contract with the Fontainebleau. They need 4 matches throughout this year, but they just had one, so they need 3 more. So International Fight Week, it's looking good for that. I don't know personally, just taking a guess. If they film the season, whoever the coaches are should be fighting at International Fight Week.
Yeah.
When is International Fight Week?
June 25th.
June.
But I think
Oh,
the
yeah.
power slap would be that Friday, whatever that Friday is, because it's like a whole week long.
Friday the 13th or
stuff.
something like that.
They need more rounds of power slap. No, they don't. You got to protect the health. That's the most important.
No, I think June is a safe bet. I bet you they might have something, but who do you know? We don't know.
Unless you pull a Colby Covington or Chael Sonnen and trash talk your way to a title shot. I met Colby. He was at Power Slap this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
I
actually
think
did say come on my podcast. So if you know him, tag him and tell him.
I think he's assistant coach with
trash talk your way to a title shot with no wins. You know, you got to have the personality. You got to have that aura. They might not have the wins, but they have that aura and that super stardom to them.
I think the only way someone with no wins gets an automatic title shot to me is if Dana brings legit, UFC or ex-UFC fighter in my weight class. But other than that, I just don't think no random guy wanting to sign up gets that shot.
Oh, Rob, main event says, Rob, tell them about the photo your boy sent you to motivate you.
So, I was even embarrassed myself. I cut to 135 for my MMA fights, and I was fucking struggling to make 155, and it's because it was more of the time. I showed up a little late to the PI. I had to cut 7 pounds in like an hour and 45 minutes.
Damn.
And yeah, dude, I had to, like, there was a point there, I was an hour in, I had like 45 minutes, and I still had like 3.5, 4 pounds to go. And I was literally about to cry in the sauna, bro. I was like, I'm gonna have to start typing all these posts. I'm missing weight. My boy Ding Dong Mike
Yeah.
from Slap News, he sent me a pre-made post saying Robert Trill misses weight at the lightweight benchmark.
Oh
He
my
said, here's your
god.
motivation. Bro, I locked in, I locked in so hard, bro. I ran for a quick mile. I sat 45 minutes in the fucking sauna straight. Told my driver, I said, have the fucking heater cranked up. I wore my sauna suit on the way to the weigh-ins, and I weighed in, with 5 minutes left, and I made
Wow.
weight. So
Nice.
it
Got it
was
done,
crazy.
baby.
True
Got it done,
warrior.
baby.
Warrior right there, man.
Sir.
You looked fine though, because some people that have like to cut that much weight, they look rough. Like you didn't look that rough.
Yeah, no, I was, like I said, it wasn't so much the weight, it was just the time that got to me. But I did back up to like 168, 169 by the end of the night. So I weighed in at 154 and a half, and I was 169 before I went to bed. So had a good rehydration.
This topic is interesting right here. Anthony Smith loves power slap. He was a catcher. He wanted to do commentary. They didn't let him. Allegedly, I don't know. And then he actually wanted to compete in it, but Hunter straight up said no. Didn't even bring it to Dana.
Yeah. They're not gonna let that happen. That's
205er.
he still has a really good following and he has a big name, but I don't see that happening.
That would kind of like kill him, and like if like say he didn't do too good in power slap, that would kind of like bring down his UFC stock.
The stock, correct.
Yeah, and
he's done like 50 or 60 professional fights. He has one more fight. It's his last fight. I want to say it gets him to like 50 or 60 professional fights.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think they want to bring
slap.
in.
He loves power slap. Imagine against Turpin or Simons. That'd be wild. Anthony Smith would kill Austin Turpin.
Yeah, for sure.
I give it to the real deal though. We probably be built different.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Yeah, like I said, I appreciate you guys for being here. Oh, actually, guys, one more thing before I get out of here. I'm gonna make this like my official video. I'm gonna pull this recording, but I was supposed to do this last week before I left to Vegas, and I didn't. So this is gonna be my official post. I have teamed up with Head Rush brand. They gave me a flat T-shirt. Chief, show your shirt. They gave me a flat T-shirt to give away. It's gonna look like that with power slap socks. And I am adding, I don't know if you guys can hear that. I am adding a sealed box of power slap cards to that giveaway. I'm going to have this posted up to my Instagram by Thursday. And it's just going to be like a like and follow, tag people, and then probably leave it up for like a week or two. And then I'm just going to put like a random generator. It has to be in the US because I don't know what shipping's like. Unless you're at a military base overseas. Because then
it's like shout out Head Rush.
Shout
out Head Rush too, but leave trading cards. You guys need better people on them cards. Get us on.
They need an update. They need an update. Let them know, Robert.
For real.
Yes. Yeah, we need a new champ shirt. I'm gonna have to talk to them.
Yeah. Hey, the champ shirt's pretty, so make sure everyone gets one.
Yeah, I definitely need one.
All right, but I just want to say thank you guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for helping me with my little giveaway post.
Thank you guys.
And you guys are welcome to enter as well. It is open. It's not just to like not strikers. It's open to everybody that's in the US.
Cool.
Nice.
So. But I will talk to you guys soon. I cannot wait to see you guys back on the stage. Hopefully sooner than later. And good luck to you guys.
All right, Robert, Chief.
I see y'all later. For those of you at home, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all that good shit, and stay petty, bitches.
Stay petty.
See you guys.
Okay, how do you get out from this?